Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was gonna say I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about what I would do if I was on a fixed income. This has been a heavily requested video. What would you do if you lived on a fixed income? Maybe you lived on disability. Maybe you lived off of, I don't know, your military income. Maybe you live off of Social Security. Maybe you live off of just your 401k or Roth IRA. How are you going to structure your life in a way that's going to allow you the most freedom and flexibility? You see, my life is about freedom, independence, and flexibility. In order to do that, we need to be able to cut expenses, increase cash flow, make our money work for us, even on a fixed income. How would I do that? Well, depending on the family dynamic and structure, I would think as a single man or a single woman, we can start to maneuver in different ways. For example, most people would think that a single bedroom apartment might be the best financial option for them. But instead, a 2-bedroom apartment is maybe $300 to $400 more, yet you can get a roommate for $700, $800, even $1,000 as a roommate. So you then cut your cost down by about $600. What that now allows you to do, let's say your budget is $2,500 a month, your apartment expenses are now roughly $900 to $1,000, right? And again, if it's $2,500 a month that you're budgeting, you now have $1,500 left over. If you need to save up for a vehicle, you have to put $500 to the side every single month. That's also going to be in place of emergencies as well. So that $500 every single month, that's $6,000 a year. You might need to get a $6,000 vehicle on such an income. And so after 12 months, you're able to save up that amount of money. You got $1,000 left over every month. I spend about $250 to $300 on food every single month, not including eating out. Of course, eating out is optional. So let's just say we're on the higher end, $300. That leaves you with $700. Let's say you do have a need for transportation. Let's say $300 goes towards that. If you live in New York, it's very, very easy to transport because you have trains and buses, and that costs roughly like $250 a month. And then you still would have about another $500 left over if my math is correct. So with that being said, you can then use that for entertainment, fun, or put a little bit more into your savings. So when you have a fully funded emergency fund that is 6 to 12 months of expenses, I like to have 24 months of expenses covered. That gives me the flexibility to now do other things, like invest freely, because I don't encourage anyone to invest who is going to face an emergency and have to pull that money out. You see, the reason why I was able to get my account to $117,000, as you can see here, is because I don't have an emergency that cannot be handled without my investments. I keep 24 months of savings for anything that may occur or happen. And so, you know, when you grow an account, when you're growing your investments slowly but surely, that those numbers start to add up, they start to increase. And, you know, I'm blessed to be able to maneuver through life without the need to ever say, yo, I'm going to be in a financially trying time. There is nothing that can happen. The house can burn down. I have insurance, and I can pay the deductible. I can pay whatever the cost may be. If every pipe in this house bursts unimaginably. I can pay to get that all taken care of. Like, everything is super secure because of the emergency fund that I have in place, to where I would not have to tap into this in order to take care of everything that I need to take care of. And then that allows me to put money into other things. So for example, I put over $1,000 extra into the principal of my mortgages every single month. But most people would say that that is an unwise financial decision, because that 3% mortgage rate is cheaper than inflation for the most part, right? I would agree with that, but here's the thing: like, if I were to take that $1,000, I'm already investing heavily. I invested over 25K already this year. Well, last year I should say. Um, if I am taking that $1,000 out, where do I now put it? Do you also put that in investments? It's hard to say. Now, yes, can I reroute the money in order to start putting it into investments? That's another $12,000 a year in investments going into my account. That is a lot of money in investments. And then after another 10 years, that's over 120,000 invested on top of what I would have normally invested. The problem is though, um, if you only put money into the investment accounts, you're now foregoing other opportunities that you could have been able to access, right? So yes, over an 8-year period of time, you invest an additional $1,000, you're going to have over $200,000 in 20 years. But the potential of having free and clear houses that cash flow in 8 years will provide you a massive amount of return on investment, a massive amount of freedom, a massive amount of assets that now cash flow 100%. Then you can put that money to work, or you can honestly just live an amazing life. And so I say all that to say is because when we're focused on a fixed income, limiting expenses is very important. Like, my income is not fixed, but technically, unless you're getting a raise, your income is also fixed. So how can you increase that? Well, you can either make your money work for you, and you're not going to be able to access that in the stock market unless you pull it out. You're not going to be able to access it in a house unless you do a HELOC or you pull it out or sell. And so you want to access that through cash flow, right? I can get cash flow from my dividend stocks. I can get cash flow from the rent. But if you have no mortgage payment, now cash flow has become exponential. You can move a little bit different. You can offer a little bit more to people. You can not raise rents as much or as frequently. You can be nicer. You can be kinder, because that money now is just a tool, right? Sometimes it becomes someone's entire existence when they don't have the right things in place. And so I encourage people to really, really hone on how to limit the living expense, because the living expense costs the most. And then it's the fun expense, which is typically a car or a heavy loan, that is really dropping you down. So when we get control of the home and understand our living situations, and then we also get control of our vehicle for transportation, your actual ability to really start to invest more, save more, and have that emergency fund built up completely is 100% going to be better. Your life is going to change drastically. Don't ever tap into the emergency fund unless there is an actual emergency that is going to be needed to be resolved, right? And so that just allows you to live your life in a completely different way. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put that in the comment section down below. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.